Hi, it's Jeff Allen. There have been a number of posts with the Google Bard, Google Bard's kind of hit the scene now after, a few weeks after the OpenAI Chat GPT became pretty, well known. And there's been a lot of questions up on, especially on LinkedIn on the different social media about whether Google's version and now even Microsoft's version, okay, because let's just say it could be any of these, right? Now you got Microsoft Bing with integrated, AI apps integrated into, their search engine stuff and the different layers and all this. So the question here is, are they too late to the scene? And I'm looking back, where this has happened before, where I know there have been, languages. I know when I did the Haitian Creole speech technology stuff, and I made all the data available through Carnegie Mellon University in January 2000, near the end of January 2010, and Microsoft was the first one to actually get the Haitian Creole version up in less than 5 days. Google took another week to put it into Google Translate, and it's gone into YouTube subtitles, and it's in a lot of different platforms right now. Google took longer, and we actually, it was actually put up faster by others. And if I had had access to a custom system, we would even put it up in that one first. But in the end, Google Translate is the one that's most famous because everyone knows a Google Translate app, right? I have to explain people that the Microsoft app, I pulled it up on my phone, is like Google Translate, right? I have to say that for people to understand. And then I talk about other ones, there are other online versions. And so it's always comparing it to Google, right? Google Translate. Now, I would say here's the same thing. Google is, I'm just saying what I think, right? From the perception of when I talk with normal human beings on the street, right? And family and friends and, people outside of my professional work context. And people just know Google. It's easy to use. It's easy to access. It's simple to use. It's always simple, right? The search is easy. The chat is easy. The email, everybody has Gmail, right? If you got YouTube, you got to have a Gmail. You got to have a Google account, right? So if you want to be able to make comments on YouTube, and YouTube, everybody uses YouTube, right? So it's, I think I don't think it's too late just because they're Google, right? And that they're able to, even it took extra. They're trying to be careful, right? Because they put some stuff out and it was too early. Some things go out and it's just too early, and so they're going to pull it and retract it. But the fact that they've kind of, I don't want to say they don't have a monopoly in all this, but they do have a user base that's just huge, right? And everybody knows it. And the other ones are just kind of newbies on the block. But in the end, once it gets into Google, people are going to start using Google because they're already using it for other stuff, right? And Google will be able to, send them messages through the Gmail and stuff, and just say, hey, test it out. I mean, it's they've just got access to it. But I think this is something to keep in mind. So just because it's later, a few weeks later, it's not a big deal. Not for them. Now, will it be good enough? Will it be as good? That's another question. And that's something that kind of, we'll see how all the testing goes with everybody, right? So all the beta testing and all these stuff. As they're beginning to make it, making these releases out wherever they are. I mean, this evolves so quickly. It's hard to keep track of where exactly they are in their testing phase with the users, but it will be in the release. So it's released. Hey, sometimes you just let the stuff out and go for it, right? So that's at least my thought. It's not too late. And Microsoft's, once Microsoft gets into the apps, right, that's a different thing. If they would just put in Bing, a lot of people don't go to the browser to go to Bing, right? I mean, but once you get it involved in the apps, like inside of Microsoft Word and inside of PowerPoint and this kind of stuff, then that changes the game. That's a game changer because that's what people use, right? And through Gmail, or no, not through Gmail, through Microsoft Outlook too, right? But you can start using it for that stuff. But we'll see with that, right? Because that gets into other stuff, right? So that's my thoughts on this today.